You know what's funny? Everyone loves to talk about balance. Work-life balance, hustle-rest balance, like it's the perfect equation we're all supposed to solve. But if you've ever built something that matters to you, whether it's a business, a dream, or even a better version of yourself, you know that balance doesn't always exist. At least not in every season. Because when you're in a season of growth, something's bound to fall out of rhythm. Not forever, but for a while. Right now, I'm in that season. I just came back from a long 4-day Tony Robbins intensive. Long days, late nights, full energy. And I went straight from that into LA Tech Week, which if you don't know, is basically just 50 to 100 events happening every single day for a full week. And if you can't tell from my voice or my energy, I'm tired. For the past week, I've been going to events every single night until 10 p.m. Getting home, showering, going to bed, and waking up at 4:30 a.m. to edit these videos for 100 Bold so that they can get posted by 7 a.m. And I want to be honest about that because people assume that if you're consistent, you've mastered balance. But I haven't. And if you're trying to build something right now, you probably haven't either. And that's okay. You don't need perfect structure to show up. You just need commitment. And I know this pace isn't sustainable forever. I made peace with that because next week I slow down. Next week I rest. And I want to encourage you to do the same, to give yourself permission to push hard a week and then give yourself the space to recover. Because that's not failure, that's rhythm. I used to think balance meant having everything perfectly aligned. The perfect amount of sleep, time with friends and family, productivity, and self-care. But I see it very differently now. Balance isn't perfection. It's actually awareness. It's knowing what season you're in and why you're in it. This week, I'm in a season of expansion. I'm meeting people, I'm learning, I'm building, and I'm pouring into my vision. And that is going to pull me off balance for a bit. But because I'm aware of it, I don't feel guilty. And that's the difference. Awareness gives you peace in the chaos, and this applies to you too. If you're in a push season right now, maybe you're working overtime, you're chasing a deadline, or you're trying to make something happen, you're not doing it wrong. You're just building something new. And here's the truth that no one wants to say. When you're building something from scratch, balance disappears. You might be a founder, a student, a parent, or just someone that's chasing a dream after work hours. You might be giving everything to something that doesn't exist yet, and people will tell you to just balance it better. But that's not how it works. There are going to be weeks when your house is messy, your diet's off, you sleep bad, and you're gonna feel like you're barely keeping up. And that's not failure, that's reality. The key is to know that it's temporary. You can live unbalanced for a short season, just not forever. So if you're in that kind of week right now, please, don't shame yourself for it. You're allowed to be in a build phase. You're allowed to be in a stretch. A few days ago, I hit a wall. I was editing one of these videos for 100 Bold at 4:30 in the morning, staring at my screen, and my brain just stopped. I kept reading the same line again and again, and it just wasn't clicking. And if you've noticed the last couple of days, the videos I've been posting don't have subtitles on them. And that wasn't an accident. That's a choice. I was so tired, I had to decide. Do I stay up another hour and add captions, or do I go to bed and get an extra hour of sleep? And honestly, I chose sleep because sometimes that's what awareness looks like. Knowing what you can give today without losing yourself in the process. And you know what? That's okay. Because in certain seasons, perfection has to take the back seat to consistency. The most important thing isn't that every video is flawless, it's that I'm showing up, that I'm creating, that I'm keeping the promises that I've made to myself and to you. And I want you to take this personally. Whatever your subtitles are, whatever detail you've been beating yourself up about, it's okay to let that go for a week if it helps you to keep showing up. You don't have to do everything perfectly to make progress. You just have to stay in the game. Next week, my purpose isn't gonna be about events and socializing. It's gonna be sleep, it's gonna be stillness, it's gonna be self-care. It's gonna be taking time away from people and allowing myself to rest and to breathe again. Because resting isn't weakness, It's maintenance. Rest is how you protect your mission. It's how you make sure that you can still show up long-term. And I want to remind you, rest is not a luxury, it's a skill. It's the discipline of slowing down before you collapse. So if you've been running on empty, please take that seriously. You can't pour from a drained body or foggy mind. So give yourself that permission to reset before life forces you to. And we don't need to glorify extremes. You don't have to live on 4 hours of sleep to prove your commitment. But you also don't have to feel guilty when you have a demanding week. Some seasons require you to stretch and others require you to restore. The power is knowing which one you're in. So if you've been feeling guilty for feeling tired or for not having your routine perfectly together, stop, take a breath. You're not behind. You're becoming. You can't create from exhaustion, but you also can't grow from comfort. It's a dance between both, and that dance is where boldness lives. This week reminded me that it's okay to let certain things slide when you're building momentum. My sleep isn't perfect, my voice is shot, and my captions are missing, and well, I forgot to do my laundry, so that too. But you know what? I'm showing up anyway. And I hope that encourages you to do the same, to show up for yourself, even when it's messy, even when it's late nights and early mornings, even when your body's tired, but your heart still believes. Because you can't wait for balance to take action. You have to move through imbalance to find balance. Next week, I'll slow down, I'll sleep in, I'll turn off my notifications and take long walks and more bike rides and maybe do absolutely nothing for a day without guilt. And that is something I want to normalize. You can work hard for a week and then rest deeply the next. You can sprint and then recover. That is balance. It's not symmetry, it's rhythm. It's expansion and contraction. Push and pause. Action and reflection. Life moves in waves, and if you try to fight the waves, you'll burn out. But if you move with it, you grow. So maybe your next week looks like that too. Maybe this is your permission slip to say, all right, I give it my all this week, and the next week, I'll rest. If your friend told you, I'm running on fumes this week, I'm working so hard, but I just can't slow down, you would tell them, hey, look, finish what you started, and then next week, just slow down and take care of yourself. That's the same compassion that you owe yourself. You don't need to pick between ambition and well-being. You just need to learn when to push and when to pause. And that's the real mastery. It's not balance, it's self-trust. So this week, I'm tired, but I'm also super grateful because tiredness reminds me that I'm stretching. It means I'm growing again. And next week, I'll rebuild, I'll rest, I'll breathe, and I'll come back stronger, more grounded, and more clear. Because life isn't meant to be perfectly balanced. It's meant to be lived fully. So if you're in your own version of this week, you're running, you're barely catching your breath, just remember, balance isn't something you find. It's something you return to when the season shifts. And next week I'll rebuild. I'll rest, I'll sleep, and you'll be getting subtitles. This is day 9 out of 100 bold. I am sprinting this week, but next week I'm resting. And both are part of the journey because life doesn't reward the perfect. Life rewards the bold. And if you're currently on your journey or you want to start your streak, just comment below 9 out of 100. And join the movement. I'll be seeing you tomorrow at 7 a.m. And remember, to act bold, you need to be kid brave again. Bye.